What is living off-grid? Living off-grid is simple. The grid refers to the power grid. Living off-grid just means that you don't have any public utilities coming to your home or your homestead.
And he saw that it was good.
Nice. Bright out. Hopefully that means we're going to get some good solar action going on today. Welcome back to the homestead, guys. If this is your first time here, me and my wife live off-grid in a fifth wheel camper RV in Western New York. We're about 20 minutes to a half an hour away from Buffalo, New York, the place that's had the two crazy storms this year. Honestly, our winter hasn't been too bad, but the two crazy storms were, pretty intense. I'll agree that they were intense. They weren't exaggerated, really. They were just as intense as everybody said they were. Now, we do use propane gas. We do have electric, as we provide with our solar panels, as you can see right behind me. We are heating about 99% with wood right now, but we do still have a propane furnace that we will kick on every once in a while if it's super chilly in the morning, or if we get those nights where it's down to below zero or negative wind chills or something like that. We might kick it on once or twice, especially to heat up the underbelly. We haven't found a way to do that off-grid yet. That doesn't require us turning on the furnace, but usually our batteries and our solar can handle that no problem. Living off-grid just means you don't have any public utilities, you don't have any electric, you don't have any water, you don't have any sewer, you don't have any gas coming in from outside sources. This is our black water tote. This is what we use to empty our septic tank during the winter. We empty the black tank into this tote, and then we drag that up into our truck and we take it off to go get dumped. Stinky, stinky! That's how we take care of our septic off-grid in the winter. Right now, as you can see, I'm outside doing some chores. I got the fresh water hooked up, and that's our water softener right there, off-grid water softener. But we're getting water from the house that we rent up here. It's like 200 feet away, which is why we're not using heated hoses, because that is a very expensive endeavor, and it would draw a lot of power from our solar batteries, so we can't have a heated hose. So during the winter, we just do our best to try to find the warmest day of the week and fill our waters up. So right now, this house, we live out in the country. This house has its own well, pumping water out of the well, and this is what we're using to fill up the camper. We have a 150-gallon water tank in the camper that'll last us about 7 to 10 days. All right, so here is our solar array. This is 1,000 watts because there is 10 100-watt panels right there. They're flexible panels, but I have them mounted to pallets that we can move around. And we have another 1,000 watts of panels right here. These are rigid panels. We hope to get at least 1,000 watts of them mounted to the roof of the camper. But as winter was rolling in, we decided the ability to be able to aim them towards the sun during the winter was more crucial than getting them mounted to the top of the camper. So we have the snow fence surrounding our off-grid camper, and what that does is that stops the wind from just blasting the camper directly. It really does help stop the wind from just, totally destroying us. We're in the middle of a field here in Western New York. We're not far from Lake Erie, so we do get some really heavy winds. That last big storm, we were getting gusts up to 70 miles an hour. It is absolutely wild out here right now. I'm from Western New York, and I can safely say that this is nuts even for Buffalo, New York. My truck, here's my truck, I don't know if you guys can even see my truck right now. There's the truck and the solar panels. They seem to be staying in place pretty well at the moment. Oh, look, we got a driver by right here. I'm gonna pull the truck forward a little bit, try to shield them solar panels a little better. Another thing too that the snow fence helps us with is that little ridge right there. So that little ridge is where the pile of snow lands. So what it does is it almost creates a bare spot for us right around the camper. I have to do very little shoveling around here because this snow fence creates this pile right up close against it. and then it keeps the path clear for us. So that's nice. All right, so the water's coming out under there. We successfully filled up our water. So this is just one of our chores that I'm doing today. Right when I'm done with this, I will be taking care of our septic tank. So from here, you can see both of our chimneys going. The one's smoking pretty good. The other one's only got a little bit of smoke coming out of it. But one back there towards the back of the camper, that's in the master bedroom. And then the one that's smoking up in the front there, that is for the living room. They are both removable chimney tops. We just put a cap on them and then we can drive down the road. It only takes us like 2 minutes to do that. It's not a big deal at all. So that's how we're heating off-grid. And so this is my wood chopping area. This is where I get all of our off-grid heat from. So far we went through about 5 cords of wood. So we're already got 5 down probably that we're on, and we think we might hit 7 or 8 this year. So that's just something we're going to account for next year. Still makes wood the cheapest heating option by far. We also experiment with some off-grid travel options with our e-bikes. We are on the trip to the new hiking trail in Forestville, our local town here. Put in a new hiking trail, and we are taking the dogs, whether they're willing to go or not. Sam's back there yelling commands because they keep wanting to jump out. But the hiking trail is only like half a mile from our house, and then it's a mile-long trail. So we're gonna go there, we're gonna check it out, and we thought what better way to get there than to use our e-bikes and take the dogs with us.
Sit down.
As you can see, they are not fully cart trained yet, but we are working on it. So hopefully we will get there. For us guys, these are actually practical, and we live in the country. So I only go 7 or 8 miles to work. So I charge these bad boys off of our solar setup, and it gets me back and forth to work for free. And so it actually makes my solar setup pay for itself quicker. We use them to go to the farmer's market, which we go to once a week. We can get all of our grocery shopping, all that stuff done on these things because it's within about 15 miles away from us, 10, 15 miles away from us, so we can get there and back with our groceries, no problem. All right, so I showed you guys how we're living off-grid, and there's various degrees of off-grid. I mean, people would argue if you're not providing your own food, you're not living off-grid, all these different things. But the grid just refers to the power grid. So I would say if you're here asking this question, maybe somebody who's living off-grid and you're just wondering what's that all about, or if you're here because you're interested in living off-grid, I hope I gave you some ideas, and just start with one of those 4 things. Either water, sewer, electric, or heat. Those are your main things, and if you can get off-grid with those 4 things, I would say you are doing a good job living off-grid, and you are well on your way, my friend.